Right now in the society space, we're talking about AI and AI taking our jobs. But what we're not talking about as a society is what happens to all of our young people and our unemployed when there is no more jobs to be taken thanks to AI. And the solution is obvious: just starve. The provision from the people on top is to just starve or find a job that has been taken by AI. So, in the spirit of this video, I have concocted the best possible way to implement a UBI and for all these lazy kids to contribute to the society while they get paid in a UBI. Let's just call it enough to live. Let's say each paycheck is enough to live, but I have some thoughts, okay? I have some thoughts to make a UBI practical for our society. So at this point in our society, we don't need a definition for a UBI, but if you really don't know what that is, it's a universal basic income. It's a paycheck from the government that comes every month to simply exist. It comes from a post-capitalist society where resources are not scarce anymore, and you can just live on the government's dime. The thing is that whenever you bring up a UBI, you get these chuds who come out the woodwork and say, well, if we implement a UBI to where people just sit around and, laze around, then they won't do the work. Well, if the work's already being done by robots, then why do we need money in the first place? It doesn't make any bloody sense. So, to appease the chuddies, I've come up with 3 conditions that you will receive a UBI, and if you participate in the system, you will receive enough to live. And I will organize it from lowest condition, meaning condition 1, which will be the easiest to engage with. You don't get that much, but you still get enough that someone would justify doing it all the time. Condition 2 will be a UBI system that pays a little bit more and requires a little bit more, oomph to get it. And then condition 3 will be the highest paying condition, which will facilitate, much higher standard of living should you choose to opt for condition 3. So before I get started on the 3 conditions where you will be able to earn enough money to get by, I want to talk about why UBI is necessary. AI is coming for our jobs, and the people on top really don't care about if we live or die. And now that there was a thing in America where a data center was going to cost so much electricity that the main provider was going to completely abandon the town, I think it's necessary to think about what happens to all those people to prevent them from rising up and burning the data center down. Well, they need to live somehow, and we are not going away, and we're not going to let ourselves be steamrolled by these companies. So why not a compromise? Okay, we get our UBI, and we can also prove to you that we're not a lazy sack of shit lying around doing nothing. Ideally, we'll just get money and we wouldn't need to do these conditions. But I have come up with these conditions as a bargaining compromise to the elites to prove that even in a state like this where we have no leverage whatsoever, we'll take anything, because I don't think there's any other way. I think AI will force a UBI. If you're looking for the history of a UBI and the definition, you've come to the wrong place. I'm not the Wikipedia type, okay? Just Google UBI and then you'll find what I'm talking about. Let's get into condition 1. Okay, condition 1, you earn, let's say, £1,000 a month. What you have to do is go to your local cinema, and then what you need to do is sit down in a dark room in one of these special UBI theaters, and in my mind, you will be watching ads the whole time. You will be watching nothing but YouTube ads, and there is no moderation. You might get an ad from Waitrose every now and then, the really good ones, but most of the time you'll probably get unmoderated mobile game AI slop. So yeah, that's condition 1. And also, to make it more efficient, I will implement a system where everyone must be looking at the camera. There will be an AI facial recognition detector on the screen, and it'll be monitoring everyone's expressions. And if their eyes dart away from the screen for like a minute, a solid minute, if people think that they can just sit back and then scroll on their phones and then, uh, not participate in the condition system, then the screen will go red and it'll play an ear piercing like warning sign, directing everybody's focus back to the screen so that they can keep watching ads. I'd say uh every 2 hours there's a 10-minute break so people can get up and go to the bathroom and eat. There'll be like a concession stand. So yeah, you sit there, you clock about maybe, I want to say, 30 hours a week in the AI theater, and then you get your paycheck of, oh no, let's say 40 hours. Let's say 40 hours, 8 square hours a day. You get your £1,000 paycheck per month, every month. That is condition one. But let's say you're a bit more high strung. Let's say you're a bit more of a high strung individual who has a bit more to give. Maybe we can eliminate two birds with one stone. Now, condition two will give you about, let's say, 2,100 a month. So you're still clocking in 40 hours, but you're way more involved. You get more per month, which might entice people to climb the system, but you need to put in the effort. So what do? We build a facility where it's basically like an abandoned warehouse or a nuclear power plant or something like that. And we have people in exercise bikes who pedal, kind of like that scene from Black Mirror, where they pedal and power big alternators that power the society. So condition one, you're absorbing valuable company advertising for points, and then that point system gets translated into real money. However, in condition two, you get to directly power the town. How good is that? How good is that? Your actions are directly contributing to positive change, and also it's carbon neutral, renewable. You need to clock 40 continuous hours on the bike machines, and then a little app on your phone will say you've reached the maximum amount of cycling. You've made your target. But since this is kind of a continuous thing that requires everyone to pull together, I'll implement an overtime system. So now we have two tiers so far. We have condition one, sit in a theatre for £1,000 a month. You have condition two, you use exercise bikes, and you get paid 2,100. Now for condition three, I think is the best, and obviously it will be the most high paying. You get £3,500 a month for condition three, and all you need to do is get some light surgery done at the base of your brain stem. There will be some slight surgery going on, and we'll plug in a metaverse port. I imagine in the future there'll be a kind of like a public government version of the metaverse, where you can kind of go in, you go to your digital job, like in Sword Art Online or whatever that anime was, where the whole civilization is run out of a simulation, and then something happens to it. Anyway, I'm a weeaboo, sue me. What happens is that your brain waves are kind of carrying the simulation, kind of like in Black Mirror again, where Rivermind's systems are kind of powered by people's brains. But you just, all you need to do is, before you go to bed every day, you plug in your metaverse port, and you need to register 40 hours a week minimum to receive the £3,500. Now this one might come with some ramifications, like the simulation interfering with your dreams or your mind, or you might start hallucinating, or consequences. You put on some headgear, you plug yourself into the simulation, and then eventually you receive a paycheck. So right now I have designed 3 conditions to receive a UBI. Best system, I think. Which condition would you choose? I'm genuinely curious. I think I would choose condition 2. It's probably the best. It's the, compromise. You're paid more than absolutely minimum. It's non-invasive, and also you can get fit while you do it. And also your actions have direct benefits for the people around you. So those are my suggestions. Governments, elites, if you want to take them, they're free, of course. Yeah, but also credit me because I invented this system, and I think it's better for all of us, really. Or, if life's so hard, you could just take condition 4, which is the secret condition. You could just elect yourself to be liquidated into biodiesel, but that is another video. I'm going to make another video on the super secret condition 4 and the benefits to having that condition 4. Anyway, bye for now. Tell me in the comments which condition you would take. I personally would take condition 2, but there are freaks out there. Bye bye.